What's up? And we are back with another episode of Threes on Fire. I'm Sid. We have Irvin Henderson Jr. And we have a special guest, my cousin Sheed from Straight Shooters.
Yo, what's up?
And today we about to jump in because the NBA is back.
Yeah, NBA season started on Tuesday. But before we get into talking about the NBA, we will have a full fleshed out discussion, as we said last week, about what we think is going to happen this year. Let's kick today's shows off talking about the World Series. Listen, fellas, I hate to admit this, but there is really something about seeing the Dodgers and Yankees in the World Series that just it feels right. And I don't like either of these teams. I don't. I'm not a Dodger fan. I don't like any New York team at all. But it's almost as if it's like the Lakers and Celtics in the NBA Finals. Like even if you are not a fan of those teams, hearing that matchup almost makes you want to grab the remote and tune in. And this series is off to a damn good start. The series will resume Monday in the Bronx. The Dodgers up 2-0. Both games have been absolute classics. LA winning game 1 6-3 on Freddie Freeman's walk-off grand slam, the first walk-off grand slam in World Series history. And in game 2, the Yankees had a chance to rally in the top of the ninth. They could not close it out. They got a run in the top of the ninth, but failed to capitalize with the bases loaded and 1 out. Dodgers took game 2 4-2, and the Dodgers also now have history on their side. 56 teams have held a 2-0 series lead, 45 held on to win. Bad note for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani left game 2 with a partially dislocated shoulder. His availability for game 3 is uncertain right now, and that would be a huge blow to their lineup, especially going to a ballpark that gives up a lot of home runs. That's a lot of power to not have in your lineup in a ballpark that is just like a launch pad.
Right.
And the Yankees going home, I expect Aaron Judge to get out of this slump that he's in. I know everybody's asking what's wrong. I think right now he's like 1 for 9 in the series. He's batting under 200 in the postseason. At some point, a guy like that is going to have his moment. And if there was any place to have it, it's going to be at home. Now, Sadell, I told you last week when we talked about college football that I think Notre Dame is going to sneak back into the playoff. Well,
Yeah.
they helped their chances. They blew out Navy 51-14. The usually turnover-free midshipmen turned the ball over 6 times. 5 of those were fumbles, and the Irish capitalized on those mistakes. Notre Dame has 4 games left. 3 are against teams that are under 500. Florida State, they're 1-7. Virginia and USC are both 4-4. The only winning record team that they go up against in those last 4 is Army. Army is 7-0. The only road game in those 4 is against USC, the last game of the season. They're going to win out.
Yeah.
They are going to win out. They're going to be back in the playoff conversation. I don't like it. I really don't. I don't think they should be in that conversation. I think Army may give them a better game than Navy did, but Army is so one-dimensional. If you have a pretty good defense, you can beat Army because they simply run the ball 50, 60 times a game. They don't pass the ball that often. And
Exactly.
I got to see it, firsthand when they played Temple. And it's ridiculous. You know what's coming. It's a run left, it's a run right, it's a run right up the middle. So we can hate Notre Dame all we want. They're going to get in. I'm sorry, they're getting in. Unless they blow that game against USC.
I was going to say that too. I was going to say, unless USC could pull off an upset, but yeah, we might as well face the fact they're in.
Yep.
The travesty is going to be who gets knocked out.
Boise State, more than likely, is going to be knocked out.
Damn.
Yeah, it's going to be Boise State. It's going to be one of those lower division teams that's going to get knocked out of that position. And I think you know, when we talk about the upper echelon conferences, there's going to be some questions that have to be asked there too. We talked about it, and we're going to talk about the Big Ten before we talk about the NBA. You have Penn State there. You have Ohio State there. You have Oregon at number 1. So think about that. Number 1, number 3, and number 4 are all in the Big Ten. And then you have another team that's undefeated right now. How do you hold like 4 teams out? Like, are they going to cap one of these teams at the knees and say, okay, yeah, you 3 are in, and everybody else, like, after that is done?
I mean, that's what it is to get Notre Dame in. It's unfortunate, but
Look, it's a crock of BS to me. But Notre Dame is Notre Dame. They're gonna get in. The only question is, like, how high are they going to be in? Because I expect them to run the table in those last 4 games. Speaking of number 3 Penn State and number 4 Ohio State, they might have got caught looking forward to that matchup coming up Saturday. Neither looked impressive in their wins. Penn State won 28-13 over Wisconsin. Ohio State beating Nebraska 21-17. Nittany Lions quarterback Drew Aller was injured on a sack in the second quarter, did not return to the game. We have no updates on his status for the Ohio State game coming up. Also, Indiana. Indiana is that other team in the Big Ten that is undefeated. They're ranked number 13 right now. They'll probably move up. They're 8-0. And that playoff spot now could be theirs if they can beat Ohio State on November 23rd, assuming that they beat Michigan State and Michigan in these next 2 games. If Indiana gets to 10-0 and Ohio State, whether they lose to Penn State or not, I think Ohio State is going to still be in the mix. Now you're going to have that game. The winner is in, and the loser is going to be on the seesaw here, possibly getting in or just being left out.
okay. I just peeped something. I didn't realize that LSU lost last night.
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, LSU, Alabama, though their playoff chances right now are like shaky at best. Shaky at best. I don't think they're going to get in. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do. If one of those 2 gets in. If LSU may be done now completely. But I could see them holding the door open for Alabama to sneak in because they're Alabama.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's some more nasty work, man. Alabama don't deserve to be in this year.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean,
so what they're gonna put Tennessee?
Bad loss.
They're gonna put Tennessee and Alabama in that case, because they can't put Bama in and not put Tennessee, right?
They could. Listen, man, stranger things have happened, man. You're talking about Alabama making it to the BCS playoff without even winning the SEC.
That's true.
Matter of fact, they didn't even play in the SEC championship game, and they still snuck in. So, listen, we can throw dirt on their chances right now, but please understand, these voters, they're going to do something nutty. They are. They're going to do something nutty. So, like, one of these teams is going to get in that doesn't belong in, and watch it be Alabama. Watch it. Just watch Alabama be the team that gets in that doesn't belong.
I hope they get us.
All right. Well, listen, man. We're going to get into our NBA discussion next. But before we do, I just need a couple of minutes to get something off of my chest. All right. And we talked about it before we went on air. They have been a frequent subject of our unfiltered segments. I think hands down, of any subject we went unfiltered on, they are probably number 1. And they are number 1. And I'm talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. So people bear with me. This is about to be an unfiltered. So if you're watching this, here is your warning that what I'm about to say is not safe for work, not safe for children to listen to. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds. Grab your headphones or fast forward to when we start actually talking about the NBA season that started on Tuesday. What in the fuck is going on with this team? Okay, what is happening here? And I'm not talking about the fact that they're 0-2. I'm not talking about the fact that they're probably going to be 0-3 after the Pacers game today. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about systematically as an organization. What is fucking happening here? You get these injuries to Joel Embiid and Paul George, and we knew Embiid, wasn't going to play much in the preseason. Paul George hurts his knee in a preseason game, and you can't put that information out there for the fans in a reasonable time frame. You're going to wait until just before the season opener at home to rule them out of this game when fans have already plunked down hundreds of dollars for these tickets, knowing that this is the debut of this new team that you've been hyping up all summer long, and your 2 star players are out. And that information doesn't get out there until well after the fact. Now, I track ticket prices. The home opener ticket prices on the low end, just to get in the building, was around $75, $80, even for, seats in the 200 section. By the time they rule both of these guys out, the ticket prices drop to $18 to get in the building because nobody wants to spend their money on this shit. Nobody. Now, so now, last week, I said that I think the Sixers are cursed. Okay? I said I think that this franchise has some sort of curse or hex over them. No. Fuck that. Change that. Okay? With the exception of Pat Croce, for 40 plus years, this team has been run by a bunch of dickheads. Whether we talking about ownership, whether we talking about the general manager, whatever decisions needed to be made to make this team better, somehow, some way, it always blows up in their faces. All of them. I don't care what moves you're talking about. None of them. And I'm not going to go back into the whole process conversation we had. As I know, I hated that shit. I thought it was the dumbest thing possible. But even like little moves that just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You bring in a Chris Webber whose knees are shot.
Right.
All right. You get rid of Iverson, and then the team goes through this whole rebuilding thing, and Andre Iguodala is supposed to be your star player, but he's not a star player. He's a role player. Like, you don't make the right decisions there. You bring in Jimmy Butler, and then you let him walk because the coach has a negative culture to the point where he's like, yo, I can't deal with this shit. I'm out. You bring Harden in here, and yeah, we talked about that too. And I told you when we had that conversation, I didn't think whatever it was the Sixers gave up to bring him in here was ever going to be worth it in the end, because Harden just is not that guy. I don't care what you think about him. He's not. Prove to me that he's ever been that guy. Okay, he won MVP. So what? When the fuck was James Harden that guy on a championship level team that elevated that team to that status? This asshole gets to game 6 and game 7 against Boston and decides to play like absolute dog shit. And people want to tell me that, oh, well, that was on Doc Rivers. And that was on. No, you brought that team together because you told us this was going to be that championship run that they were going to go on. They can't get out the second round to save their lives. They looked like crap against New York in that series, blew 2 games in the series, and then come home after Maxey saves their ass in New York, and just, again, in front of the home fans, fall to pieces. Again, that's 3 times. 3 times they fell to pieces in front of the home fan. Game 6 against Boston, game 7 against the Hawks, and then that game against the Knicks this past spring, right? Now,
Yeah.
Listen. I'm done. I'm fucking tired, man. I'm exhausted with this shit. Like, I'm almost at the point of apathy with this team. Like, I don't want to pay to sit and go down to South Philly to watch a game. I barely want to turn it on when they're on TV. Like, and honestly, I'm kind of pissed at myself right now for even doing this fucking segment, right? But we got a lot of Philadelphia fans out here that watch our show and tune in, and thank you guys. I love you for the support. I owe it to you guys to have this conversation. But listen, regardless of how this season goes, unless it's relevant to what's actually going on within this season, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I cannot fucking do this again this season. And I know my doctor would like it if I kept my pressure down, right? Because the Eagles and Phillies, like for this fall, they've already taken all the agitation I had. I don't have any more. I don't have any agitation to give the Sixers anymore. I don't.
Especially the Phillies.
Good.
The
good.
Phillies definitely did you dirty coming down the end.
And then you follow that up with the Eagles doing what they did to start the season. And on top of that, like, yeah, no, I'm good. Sixers fans out there, like, listen, talk to me. Let me know how you feel about that. Me personally, like I said, the home opener was on Wednesday. I was watching a movie. I'm all right. I'm okay. No, y'all not getting me this year. You will not get me this year. I can't do it, y'all. All right, but listen, we're gonna push that to the side and we're gonna move on. Listen, last season ended with the Celtics winning their 18th championship, and what a segue there. Like, I got a segue from the team that I love and start off talking about the team that I hate, right?
Yeah.
The Celtics won their 18th championship. They beat the Mavs in 5 games. Listen, I have 5 questions for you guys coming into the season. First question. Which team or teams in the Eastern Conference have the best chance to take down Boston?
Take down Boston? Man. Well, me personally, I feel like Boston is on a mission this year, so I feel like they're gonna be hard to be taken down by anybody, just because of all the off-season stuff with the Olympic team, with Jaylen Brown not making it, Jason Tatum getting DNPs under Steve Kerr coaching the Olympic team. I feel like they're going to be on a mission this year. Like, I feel like that hunger going to still be there because of all the off-season stuff that was happening. So they're going to be tough to beat for anybody. But I would have liked our chances if we would have looked healthy and everything. But after everything you just said about the Sixers, it's like it's going to just be hard to see us beat them just because, like, we can't get our stuff together, man. So
yeah, and you know what? Like none is also an acceptable answer. Like, I'm looking at it and I don't see it. I don't see it. Sidell, what do you think, man? I don't see it right now.
Honestly, I'm hoping that the Bucks knock them off. New York, I was liking New York before they traded for Cat, but when they traded for Cat, I think they got a little bit softer. So not them, and I mean, you just ran it on the Sixers, man. We already know what that is, man. Like, we really don't want to see Boston, even though I thought we had something. I might have to go with the Bucks. If the Bucks are healthy, that's the team that might can knock them off.
that's it.
Yeah, and you brought up the Knicks. Why would you wreck, like, you had a cohesive unit? Why would you wreck that with that trade? Like, I think that the negative is going to be higher than the positive from making that deal. Listen, Cat is an okay guy, but to me, he's a guy that has yet to reach his full potential, and I don't think he ever will. He is such an underachieving player, and I mean, he does not play well against Embiid. And I know I just went on this rant about the Sixers, but here's a guy that Embiid dominates in that matchup. I don't like that move for the Knicks at all. But if I had to pick a team, I would say the Bucks would be the only team in the East right now that I think does have a good chance of taking Boston out this year. All right, my second question to you guys. This whole LeBron and Bronny James thing going on with the Lakers, is it a big deal or is this some media overhype?
Me first? I'll go first.
Yeah, you can take it.
I think it's actually both in one. Both answers are true. I mean, obviously, man, this is history being made, especially in basketball.
Mhm.
I mean, the hype is there, man. But the other side of it, Bronny's not that good, man. He don't even really belong. So that's the overhype part of it. So it's both. It's both ends.
Yeah, I agree. Because as a father, I love to see it. I seen them check in together for the first time in the game, and like I said, as a father, like I loved it. But you know, it's definitely been overhyped because for one, we a 52nd overall pick shouldn't get this much attention anyway. But just because his last name is James, then what's that about? So, I would like to see. I don't think he belongs yet, but I do think he can develop into something like a good role player. But what are we even expecting from Bronny at this point?
Yeah, and I think because of that, that's why I lean to this being more overhyped than a big deal. I get the aspect of father and son combos playing together. Like the standard is the Griffies. The standard is the Griffies. They played together, but Ken Griffey Sr. was on the down end of his career, but his son was a prospect. Like he was projected to do great things in baseball, and he did.
He did.
This is a kid right now who, unfortunately, the expectations of him do not match his talent level.
Right.
He's an okay player. He's a back of the bench kind of player right now. Now, I'm not saying he can't develop into more of a role player, but if we're talking right now, he doesn't belong in the league. He does belong in the G League right now, and that's what the Lakers are going to do with him. They're going to shuttle him back and forth between the G League and back to the NBA roster. But even to me, that's not a good decision. Put the kid in the G League, get him some playing time, and let him develop there. You had the moment that everybody wanted. They checked into the game together. They played together. Let it be that, and let this kid go back down to develop. I think this whole thing is not being done right. It's not being done right, and it's going to be a detriment to this young man, unfortunately, because again, like I said, the expectations don't match up his talent level right now.
I agree.
I agree.
All right, 3. How do you guys feel about the in-season tournament? Now, me personally, I don't really care. I don't care. They're hyping it up again. Speaking of overhyped, this in-season tournament thing is overhyped. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like it's the dumbest thing that the NBA has done in a while, and it's not going to drum up interest. Like I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the matchups. I don't care about who's in this pool and who's in that pool. I do not care. Because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. This is like in college basketball, like the Maui tournament.
Maui Classic.
Right? Yeah, it's like I don't care. I don't care who won the Maui Classic. I'm not going back and looking up, Arizona won the Maui Classic in 19th. I don't care. It doesn't matter. This in-season tournament thing, again, is it supposed to be bringing in more viewers? Is that what this is supposed to be? Personally, I would have done similar to what the NHL is doing this year. The NHL will have like this tournament with players from Finland, Sweden, Canada, and the United States. I would have done something where it was like North America versus the world, where you have the best players from the United States and Canada, because I don't think Canada has enough players to fill a full roster in the NBA.
Right.
But have it be, the players from North America against the players from the world. You can have that kind of thing and not have it like these games are supposed to mean something and ultimately they don't. So I don't like it. What do you guys think?
Well,
Well,
actually, oh no, go ahead, Sheep.
Oh no! What I was gonna say is I do like the idea that you just said, North America versus the world. Just as a hoop fan that just like to watch basketball, I will say that it was a little bit more competitive for that time of the season, just because how it seems like the players was taking it a little bit more serious, like with the Pacers, the Bucks, just a little bit more competitive around that time of year. You know, going from November going into December, so. I wasn't mad at that, but it's still pointless. Like it don't got nothing to do with the bigger picture of trying to make the playoffs or eventually like get a championship. But just the aspect of just seeing it being a little bit more competitive, I wasn't mad at that. But maybe it need to be like something else, like you said, North America versus the world, or some type of incentive or something just to get the players to be more competitive.
All right. What you
Yeah,
got, Steph?
I mean, you know, we talked about this last year, and I was like, man, I'm not impressed. You know, it's a chance to get another fake championship out there and have people count that as part of their, legacy and stuff, and hit LeBron. um, and I was trying to remember last year. I was trying to figure out, how they could do a tournament top style thing and maybe put that towards the All-Star break. You know,
Mhm.
I'm still working on that idea, but I mean, you said something funny, not funny, but interesting with the Canada thing. I think Canada might actually have enough players in the NBA to make a team.
Mhm.
So they could
So
do like
how so how would you break that down? Because like now, like I said, the NHL has four nations in that. How would you break that down for the NBA? Because I could see that a lot better than I can see like and you just said it. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's just another accolade for these guys. But the Lakers won it, but they finished outside the top 6. So what did it really matter?
nothing at all, man.
Right.
Yeah, they could throw that away.
All
Try something else.
right. Next question. Which playoff team from last year is likely to miss out this year?
That's a good one.
That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Which team is likely to miss out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of
Are
who
we
was
looking
in
at
there.
are we looking at or are we looking at chalk this year? Like every team that made it is going to make it again this year. And but here's the thing. I say that because I think there's a team that did not make the playoffs last year that will probably make the playoffs this year, and that's the Orlando Magic.
I like that.
No, wait.
That's one.
You said a team that didn't make it? The Magic was in last year.
They were.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see.
So who did they match up with in the
They
first
matched
round?
up with the Cavs in the first round.
Oh well, then I think we're looking at chalk. Then. Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, they did. The Magic finished 5th last year. Yeah, we're looking at chalk. Then I got chalk. I got the same team.
Who's the 8th seed?
The 8th seed was the Heat.
Nah, they not making it. That's it. The Heat
You don't
not
think the
making
Heat are going to get in?
Nope.
Well, see now here's the thing. Like I'm looking at it. I actually have the Heat at 8, and we're going to get into that.
Yeah, I don't
So
have it.
who do you think is going to jump the Heat then?
I got I got 2 potentials.
Okay.
Yeah. The Hawks and the Bulls.
You know what? We'll definitely get into that when I go into what I got
Yeah,
for the
that's 2
Eastern
tough
Conference.
ones.
That's why I wish John was in, man, because
listen, I'm looking at it, and yeah, I pretty much, I think both conferences, I think I have chalk. Yeah, I do. I have the same. All the teams that made it last year are the teams that I have in this year,
Yeah, I
which
can't
is
really see
kind of
too much
surprising.
changing.
Yeah, maybe the seeding is different, but yeah, I think the good teams are still going to be good enough to get in, and the bad teams are still not good enough to make it.
Let me ask y'all, with DeMar DeRozan over there in Sacramento, how you think that play out? Do you think they got a chance to make it this year?
I don't have them in. I don't have Sacramento in right now. I'm not saying they can't, but right now I don't have Sacramento in.
I have Sacramento. I had them just missing
Bro,
out. I had them losing in the play-in.
All right, y'all back.
Yeah,
I can hear again.
Yeah, I don't even have Sacramento in the play-in.
Oh man, I forgot an obvious one. The Clippers. They
play-in?
ain't making it.
You said who ain't playing it? You said who ain't making it?
The Clippers.
Oh, you don't think the Clippers are getting in?
Hell no, they cooked.
Ooh.
They in the West.
I do have the Clippers getting in.
How?
I do. I don't have them like solidly in, but I have the Clippers getting in.
Play-in team. Y'all got them as a play-in team, the Clippers?
Yeah, I have the Clippers. I have the Clippers as a play-in team.
I don't have them as that. Strictly lottery.
Oh. Wow.
That's a team where if Sacramento start to build some chemistry, they could be the team like the Clippers, as they are now.
I can see that.
Absolutely.
I can see that. But as of right now, I have the Clippers in as a play-in team. Next question. This is unfortunately, the last year of Inside the NBA on TNT. How much are we going to miss that show when it goes away? Because I don't think there's ever been a talking figure show that has been so great as far as the culture of the sport that it represents. Like, yeah, I think the NFL on Fox pregame show, and even if you go all the way back and say the NFL Today that started the trend of pregame shows were good, for the sport, but there's been nothing like Inside the NBA at all. There's been nothing like it. Like, there have been nights where I've stayed up after games just to watch it because Chuck's going to do something nutty. Him and Shaq are going to have some sort of back and forth. Kenny's going to be the instigator. And in the middle of it all, you have Ernie Johnson just trying to keep everything from going off the rails.
And Ernie fit perfectly because he can joke around. He can reel everything back in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the perfect show. I mean, to me, I think that TNT should find a way to like properly honor those dudes, like give them some type of ceremony, send them off, give them their flowers or something like that, because they definitely deserve it.
Yeah, and man, I don't think there's going to be anything like that, man. The chemistry was just too perfect between these guys, man. Like you said, it's been plenty of nights where I spent up being up too late. Shouldn't be up that late.
Yep.
But I gotta catch Inside the NBA before I go to sleep, man. Like watching the end of those West Coast games. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think
at
some point
they always ran the just on the cusp of being like rated too much rated R for TV.
They went there a couple times, yo.
And then they knew how to toe the line, and it was just like.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I think
it's a perfect show, man. And how long has that been on for? 30
something years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, man. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss it.
I do know one thing. I know at some point we're gonna rank like the 10 best moments on Inside the NBA before they go away, just to have our own little personal tribute show to those guys, because man, those I can't wait for that, man. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss Inside the NBA, and listen, TNT made a huge mistake just saying, hey, we'll be fine without basketball. No, you won't be.
No.
You won't be. And you won't understand the impact of it until it's gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. I don't do them. I usually said I'll let you handle that part because you are the basketball guru here on the program. You got your candidates for the major awards for this season.
Yes, sir. I mean, starting from the top with MVP, we know the two of the usual suspects. Luka is always up there, and SGA with the buzz he's been getting in the last few years, he'll be up there. And the other one is Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
Now, I know we get some pushback. I mean, Jokic, he's 1-3. I think he's going to have voter fatigue. He's not going to get another one. Giannis, I think kind of the same issue, even though he only has 2 and hasn't won in a minute. But he also has Dame on his team, so that's going to take away from some of his votes. Embiid's not going to play enough games. And who am I missing? Tatum. Tatum's team is too well-rounded, I think. So
right.
Those are my 3 candidates.
Okay.
Anybody got something to
say? Keep going.
No, you was about to say something. Go ahead.
I was gonna say out of those 3, I'm going with Luka. I feel like this Luka year that they're gonna give it to him.
You know what? I think Gilgeous Alexander he got jobbed last year. Like I thought that last year was the year for him to win it, and he didn't. So I think if he has comparable numbers this year to last year, I think it's going to him because they're gonna right the wrong of not giving it to him last season.
You know what's funny? If that does happen, then for the next year going in, people will probably feel like Luka got snubbed at some point, and then like whichever one out of those 2 don't get it this year, somebody's gonna, like a big fan base of theirs is gonna feel snubbed for it, and will probably be the narrative next year that the other one will win it.
And it's happened. It's happened before. You saw it happen with Embiid winning his.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's why I feel like this year is the one for Luka because he made it to the finals last year. They didn't win, and this will be their way of kind of like rewarding them for it.
Also true. I mean, both have a strong case. SGA, the Thunder were the number 1 seed last year. And like you said, Luka made it to the finals. So it's going to be a dog fight. We're going to see. Defensive player of the year, I got Wemby, Bam, and Caruso. I think Wemby's going to take it, depending on how many wins the Spurs have. And
I don't think the wins are going to matter. I don't think wins are going to matter.
I think they got to win. I think they got to win just enough. Not enough. Not like they got to win and be in the playoffs, but they got to win just enough. They got to win somewhere close to 40 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that, he getting it automatically if his stats look anything like last season.
All right, so rookie of the year. All right, this is a tough one, man. The rookie class is like looking like trash right now. It's hard to pick from. I mean, for one, they're barely playing any of them any kind of consistent minutes, except for maybe Edie, Sar, and Zachary. Connect. I think Connect has a certain amount of minutes that the Lakers allow him to play, but the production level ain't there. And I was looking at Holland for Detroit. I thought he was gonna get more playing time, but because they trash, so why not? Castle's he's getting some tick over there with San Antonio, but that's inconsistent. And Rob Dillingham, I thought he was gonna get more time on the court and more of a opportunity to be like at least like if he had the 6-man role, that would kind of be like his key to getting rookie of the year. But it's up in the air, man. I can't call it.
let's punt on this one, and we'll revisit that when we get to the midseason because
Yeah.
I don't see it either. It's just you could put all their names in a hat, pull one out, and be right because, like you said, the production just isn't there right.
So
Right.
what has Reed Shepherd been doing? That's what I need to look up. What Reed Shepherd been doing?
He's
You know,
barely
on the
been getting to
Rockets.
play either. I mean, you think about it, they got Van Vliet, they got Amen Thompson, they got Jalen Green. Who else they got playing
Cam
guard?
Whitmore.
Cam Whitmore. They got so many people playing the guard position.
That
Right.
he ain't getting no clock like
He
that.
getting inconsistent minutes. Yeah. So most improved.
I'm pulling up the stats right now. Reed Shepherd, 3.3 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists.
How many minutes?
How many? Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. I don't think he's playing that much either. Yeah.
He can't be.
No, I'm looking at it. 6 minutes against the Spurs yesterday, 13 minutes against the Grizzlies on Friday, and 16 minutes in the open.
Yeah, so he's barely. He's had 2 games where he's barely gotten over a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
and
not
his minutes have gone down in each of the first 3 games. So he went from 16 to 13 to
15 was the most. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Damn. Let's move on to most improved. Most improved.
Mm-hmm.
I got a toss up between Scotty Barnes and Jonathan Kuminga. What y'all think?
I like those. Kuminga wasn't even crossing my mind, but I like that.
Yeah, I think Scotty Barnes will depend, like you said about Wemby. Scotty Barnes is going to depend on how the team does.
Yeah, I mean, I saw how he treated us. I watched the recap because I didn't get to see the game, but yeah, he's looking like he might be on the roll for that. 6 man, Derek Lively and Malik Monk.
I'm gonna go Lively on this one.
Yeah,
I'm leaning to Lively on this
one. I might do the same. I might lean on Ivy too over Malik Monk.
Hey, I ain't got no qualms with that. You already know.
Just because the Kings, like I said, they got DeMar DeRozan, so that's another wing scorer that they have, and that can potentially take away from Malik Monk.
Yep.
Wait, DeRozan's not starting?
No, he is.
Oh, okay. Well,
but, he's gonna get a certain amount.
He's
gonna
get major minutes, so he's gonna cut into the play time. You right.
Yep.
Those my awards because Coach of the Year. I mean, I think that's up in the air.
Yeah, that's another one of those. We'll look at that this season.
We gotta look at that down the line.
Yep.
And I don't care about clutch. You already know, Irv, that I can't figure out what the criteria really is, so I don't care about. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's another one of them.
I think their criteria is the last 2 minutes of the game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When they points average, and I guess they're going to throw in percentage and all that.
Yeah, you know what? I hate to say it. I think one of the lead candidates is probably going to be Jalen Brunson. Like I think Brunson's going to be out there because I got to see it firsthand. Here's a guy like when you needed those baskets, he was hitting them. So I would say Brunson's probably going to be on that list. Luka's probably going to be on that list as well. The same thing with the MVP. I think Gilgeous-Alexander is going to probably put himself in the conversation. Edwards will probably be in the conversation. But again, that's another one of those awards. Like we won't be able to really say anything about it until we get to midseason.
Yeah. As far as closing the games out, if he playing anything like he did last postseason, Jaylen Brown being able to close the games out the way he was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm going to go over how I think both conferences are going to shake out. I'm going to start from the bottom, work my way up. I think the Bulls, Hawks, Heat, and Pacers will be the play-in teams. So those are my teams from 10 to 7. Listen, they could move around anywhere on this list, but right now, I'd have to say the Sixers are going to finish 6. I have the Cavs finishing 5th, the Knicks 4th, the Magic 3rd, the Bucks 2nd, and the Celtics getting the top seed.
Okay, my playing teams were the Pacers, Hawks, Raptors, and Bulls. Like you said, well, with the exception of the Pacers, I think the Pacers will be solidly 7 out of that.
Mhm.
But 8, 9, and 10, Raptors, Hawks, and Bulls, they could finish. It's a round robin.
Okay.
6, Magic. 5th, the Cavs. 4th, the Sixers. 3rd, the Bucks. 2, the Knicks, and the Celtics at the top.
Okay.
For me, playing teams, Miami, Indiana, the Bulls. I guess you could say Toronto.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody slipped down there. Like, depending on our health, I mean, we a 7 seed Sixers team. If we battling, injuries all throughout the season, that could be a possibility. Boston definitely gonna be number 1 for me, baby. Boston. I can see the Knicks right behind them. I can see the Knicks having a better regular season than the Bucks, but I don't think they'll have more playoff success.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, so that's the 3. Maybe Orlando. The East the East is kind of a toss-up for me. Kind of a toss-up. From about 5 to about 9 could, depending on what happened, they could go either way for a lot of those teams. Because I can see the Pacers making it too, not in the play-in team, being a 6th seed or 5th seed too.
Right. Yeah, and if you look at my list, like I have the Sixers 6th. I'm not saying that they won't drop down. Like you said, I could see the Pacers. I could see the Pacers jumping up, being the 6th, and the Sixers being back in the play-in again.
Right.
Which is going to be another problem because your 2 injured star players are going to have to play extra games.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want. I guess for me, the 4 that's going to be locked in at the top, I got Boston 1. Then between the Cavs, the Bucks, and the Knicks, that could play out either way.
Okay.
Which probably the Cavs will be about 4th though. So Celtics, Bucks or Knicks, then the Cavs.
Okay.
All right.
All right. In the West, I have the 2 LA teams finishing in the play-in, the Clippers, Lakers. I have the Warriors finishing in the. Oh, excuse me. Hold on a second. What in the hell did I do here? Okay, I'm messing all the way up. Yeah, I messed that up because that's not supposed to say that. Hold on a second. Okay, no. So my bad. I have the Spurs 10. I have the Clippers 9. I have the Lakers 8. I have the Warriors finishing in the play-in at 7. I have the Grizzlies, T-Wolves, Nuggets, Suns, Mavs, and Thunder from 6 to 1. I think the Thunder are going to be the top team in the West again this year.
Same here. I'm gonna start from the top. I got the Thunder 1, the Nuggets 2, the Wolves 3, the Mavs 4, the Grizzlies 5th, the Lakers 6, and then the playing teams are the Suns, Rockets, Kings, and Warriors. And I almost wanted to put the Spurs in there, but I think they're going to not quite be good enough to get even in the play-in.
Okay.
And like I said, I got the Suns and the Rockets winning the play-in spots for the 7th and 8th seeds.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we all got OKC at number 1. I got them at 1. I'm gonna go Minnesota number 2 and Nuggets 3.
Okay.
Dallas 4. Let's see. Phoenix or Memphis. Memphis gonna be tough this season, but I'll go Memphis 5. I'll go Phoenix 6. I'll go Lakers 7. I think that'll be a play-in team again. Then the rest of the play-in team, Sacramento 8th. I'm not sure what the Warriors going to do this season. Rockets 9th, and then the 10th seed can be either the Warriors or the Clippers.
Now listen, that would be crazy given how good the Warriors have been. For them to not even make the play-in would be a shock. I would be shocked if the Warriors don't at least make the play-in this year. I know they lost Clay, but I still would be shocked to see the Warriors outside the play-in bubble completely.
I
Yeah, same
mean,
here.
what I'm looking at the team, and it's just like with a 36-year-old Steph Curry, and how old is Draymond Green now?
Probably like 33.
Yeah, those
34.
guys got a lot of miles on them, and then I mean,
True.
You got a lot of young guys that you building around. I'm not even sure what Steve Kerr game plan is. Like, what the lineup's gonna look like? What are you gonna throw out there?
Right. Well, Draymond's 34.
34.
Yeah, he'll turn 35 during the season.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just unfortunate. It's like we coming down to the end of what the Warriors been for the last decade.
Yeah.
We on the last lap of that Warriors dynasty.
Yeah, I think the Warriors have two problems. One, they need that second scorer, so they need Kuminga to definitely step up, and they need Wiggins to bounce back. Like, he was kind of, he's pretty awesome that year that they won, and then he took a step back after that. I mean, I know he was going through personal issues, maybe some ticky-tack injuries, but he needs to get back into that frame because he's in the prime of his career, age-wise.
Right.
So he should be doing a lot better. He has, he has the ability. And the other problem is they lack size. Pause. They never address the big man situation, and they keep throwing Kevon Looney out there at like 6'8", 6'9", and then they have a young bull, but he's young and.
Okay, what's it, Trace Jackson, I think?
Yeah, Trace Jackson. He's got spry legs, but he could be pushed around real easy. He's not the biggest rebounder, out there. So,
because they missing a lot more than just the shooting from Clay. Like I said,
I think they make up with that with Buddy Hield because Clay's at a point now where he's going to be streaky, and Buddy Hield's a streaky shooter. So
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So I think they got that part covered.
Even back to Wiggins, it's like, how confident are you that he's going to, be a consistent second option?
Not very.
That's why I have more confidence in Kuminga being that, and he just got to show it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch, but I can very well see them not making the play-in.
Well, that's why I have them as the last play-in team. I have them 10th on my play-in. So
yeah, and even though I have them 7th, that's not solid. Like them being 7th is not solid. They could finish anywhere from 7 to 10 to me.
All right.
I'm trying to think who they could beat out. Could they beat out like the Rockets or somebody, the Clippers?
You mean as far as being the seeding, or to beat them to get into the final 8?
To be into the play-in.
Yeah,
like being a 10th seed or higher.
I got them. I can't see them being higher than.
I don't see them getting the 6. I don't see them being higher than. I don't see them getting the 6. I don't see them getting the 6 at all. No. I think the Lakers could. I think the Lakers could jump up to 6, but of the 4 teams that I have in the play-in, the Lakers are the only one I think that could get to the playoff line without having to be in the play.
Me too, because I got Phoenix right over them, but they can flip-flop, and Phoenix can be in the play-in.
Well, I already got the Lakers at 6. I mean, they starting off strong anyway, so.
Yeah, but again, we only a couple of games into the season. Some of
Oh
these
yeah,
teams
yeah.
that's going to get off the hot starts are going to cool off. Some of these teams that aren't off the good starts are going to heat up. So I don't really like. I think the Lakers do have a good enough roster where they probably shouldn't be in the play-in, but LeBron's going to take some games off, and what is AD going to stay healthy?
Well, we know AD gonna miss some games, so
Right. All right, looking at it right now, fellas, give me your finals predictions.
I'm gonna send your blood pressure through the roof because my finals predictions. I mean, I had this prediction set before all the injury news for us. So, and before I knew Embiid was gonna be missing every back to back.
Okay.
I had the Sixers to beat the Nuggets in the finals. But to get there, let me tell you my conference finals matchups, right? Just to set some context to the situation.
Okay.
So I had us to beat the Knicks in the second round to get to the finals, and I had the Bucks to beat the Celtics, and then I had us beating the Bucks. That's how the Sixers.
Okay.
That's how the Sixers get to the finals.
Okay.
And for OKC for the Nuggets, I had the Nuggets over OKC after the Nuggets beat the Mavericks in the second round, and OKC beats Minnesota.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna bring my pressure down some because I don't see the Sixers doing all that. I have the Nuggets over this. I got the Nuggets over the Celtics in the finals.
I can see that.
Yep.
For me, it's gonna sound crazy coming from a Sixers fan, but I got the Celtics running it back, and either that's gonna be against the Nuggets or potentially the Thunder, if the Thunder can get there. It depends on where the Nuggets. If the Nuggets get a tough second round matchup to get put out, then I can see the Thunder making it to the finals.
Yeah,
well, I can hear Adam Silver's pressure going up with that matchup. Boston and OKC, the ratings not gonna be where you're gonna want that at.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, because if you're just looking at it from competitive standpoint, that's a great matchup.
Oh,
Two
absolutely.
young teams.
Oh yeah,
going at it. They got,
Yep.
I think
evenly
Boston.
matched.
I think Boston would be low key scared of that matchup. Not scared. No, let me not use scared, but very wary of that matchup because OKC is built in a way that it's almost like a mirror match.
Yeah. They kind of where Boston was at a few years ago. They got the right pieces. Got a good coach. They got a young roster. And the only thing that's kind of missing is the experience.
That's what's missing. That's why I had Denver. I was going back and forth between Denver and OKC in the Western Conference Finals matchup, but I was like, Denver got the experience, so I'm gonna give them the nod,
Right.
So,
and let's not sleep on the Minnesota either. I guess the only reason I'm not picking Minnesota is because of Rudy Gobert getting exposed every postseason.
I'm not picking Minnesota because they got Julius Randle.
Yeah,
they got Randle. I'm curious to see how that look around All-Star break and all that, but I'm not too mad at it. I need more time to see it before I see if it fit or not. I just need more time to see it.
Same here, but my initial reaction is that it don't work. I don't like Randle with that squad.
Yeah, and that, like we talked about earlier with the trade, I think it actually made both teams a little bit worse. Yeah.
Ironically, the loser trade.
Definitely made the Knicks worse for sure.
Absolutely. I don't think Towns is a fit for what they do, and I don't think Randall's a fit for what the T-Wolves do.
Yeah. I guess he kind of fit the I don't know. It's something about Randall I think that he probably could fit. I'm trying to think of what that is. I don't know. It's just like he fit the culture. He got that grit to him, and I don't know. It's something there that I think that Randall could fit because he is a 20-10 guy. Now his game is kind of old school, slow. You got to get into his spots and get his rhythm, which that could be the issue with slowing down. But just a few tweaks or something, maybe it could work. I'm not sure. But far as Cat though, I don't like that at all. Cause I mean, y'all got rid of y'all rebounding. He want to play on the wing. Cat want to play on the wing. He want to shoot. And
Yeah.
you don't got Julius Randle rebounding. You get rid of Hartenstein. That's one of your rebounders. Mitchell, he been banged up for the last couple seasons. And I'm like, what y'all think y'all going to get Josh Hart to be grabbing all these boards like he was against us in the playoffs all season? No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to be a season-long thing. They can't rely on that.
Yeah, and Cat, he ain't known to be down there banging in the paint, grabbing rebounds like that. So that's going to hurt y'all. Y'all not going to get those second chance points and stuff y'all was getting before. Definitely not in the playoffs. So
Not
I
to
really
mention
don't like Cat being over there, but I feel like it's a better chance of Randall working out in Minnesota rather than Cat working out in New York.
Got it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, not to mention the rim protection aspect of that. That ain't
too,
the greatest.
right?
He ain't the greatest rim protector. I mean, sure, he's gonna get some block shots. He's 7 foot, but he's not intimidating. People gonna go down the lane on him.
No hesitation.
Yep.
I mean, they got to get past the wings, but yeah, they know their teams will scheme to do that.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna have our once we get into November, December, we'll have our power rankings for the NBA. We'll continue the conversation on the awards once we get to mid-season. All right, now it's week 8 in the NFL. Unfortunately, we're at the point where the games have started for the day. So let's get right into our week 8
Let's hurry up and get it.
Listen, Sedell, last week you went 1-2, buddy. You took the Texans over the Packers in your 50-50 game. We both had the Bills over Titans and Browns over Bengals. I hit my 50-50. I had the Rams over the Raiders. My lock this week, I have the Ravens over the Browns.
My lock, got to go against them Titans. Lions over Titans.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it again this week. Go ahead and give me your 50-50.
I'm going to go Chiefs over the Raiders for the lock.
Yeah, that's another good one.
That's like
Aiden O'Connell done for the year. Minshew looked like crap last week. So yeah, that's kind of a solid one. 50-50. Go ahead, She. Give me your 50-50 pick this week.
Falcons and Tampa Bay.
All right, who you taking?
I'm gonna go Falcons just because my cousin a Falcons fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, do it for Josh, man.
I'm doing it for Josh, man.
All right. So that who you got this week?
49ers over the Cowboys.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, both of them a little banged up. I got the Bears over the Commanders this week.
Man, listen,
have they announced that Jaden Daniels is playing or not?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's the reason why I didn't pick that one. Because my Commanders picks have been coming through.
Yeah, and I'm glad you didn't this week. All right, go ahead. Give me your upset pick of the week.
You know who I got to pick.
Go ahead.
And you know we're not gonna get it.
Oh man, go ahead.
Go ahead and put them Panthers over the Broncos, man.
All right.
I almost picked them for my lock. I almost picked the Broncos over the Panthers for my lock.
And
I ain't want to go there on you guys.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean,
yeah. Listen, I almost did it to you too, but I changed my mind.
I appreciate that, fellas. I appreciate it.
Who you got as your upset pick this week, Chief?
Yeah, upset. I might go Jacksonville over Green Bay.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right, listen. This is more of a hope because you know how I feel about these teams, Sadell. I'm going to take the Patriots over the Jets.
Oh,
Listen, the Jets are in disarray right now. They're in disarray
I
right
know.
now. And if there was ever a chance for their season to get completely off track, it's today. I don't think the Patriots actually have a shot in hell of winning this game. I'm kind of hoping that the Patriots win this game just so I can see Aaron Rodgers in a press conference throw his team under the bus again. You know, he already threw his coach under the bus. He threw his team under the bus. Like, do it again this week. And, like, I don't know who else you get rid of. And,
I don't know. I don't get. It's nothing
and
less.
speaking of, how about Devontae Adams losing to the Steelers twice in a week? In 7 days, losing to the Steelers twice. Lost to the Steelers as a member of the Raiders, gets
And then
traded to
turn
the
around.
Jets, and then turns around and loses to the Steelers again.
It's karma, man. Karma.
All right, look, real quick, closing the show out with our awards for the week. Dumbass of the week, if you weren't listening earlier, it's the Sixers. Just go back and listen to the rant that I went on earlier in the show to figure out why they have Dumbass of the week for this week. Sadell, person or people of the week?
I mean, we started off that when you was asking the questions about overhype. I'm going with LeBron and Bronny James, man. You know,
Okay.
make NBA history. That's my people of the week.
All right, now listen, I have a people of the week this week, and I kind of thought you would take this because it was right there. It was a layup. We talked about college football earlier in the show. My people of the week is Colorado football. They're bowl eligible. They got their 6th win. They beat Cincinnati 34-23. They still have an outside shot to make the Big 12 championship game. I don't think they're going to get there. They already lost to Kansas State. They need like everybody in front of them to lose. I don't think that's going to happen, but nobody's thought this team was going to win 6 games this year. Like the cap on them was 5. They won their 6th game. They're definitely going to go to a bowl game. Somebody's going to pick them. Congratulations to Deion Sanders and the rest of that Colorado football team for getting the bowl eligibility this past weekend. My what to watch this coming week. I could have went with the World Series, but I'm going to go with Big Ten football this Saturday. You have 4 big games. You have Minnesota and Illinois, Oregon and Michigan, Indiana and Michigan State, and of course the big one, Ohio State going to Penn State. I think if you have the ability to be home this coming Saturday, just grab your remote, put those 4 games on, and enjoy it. I cannot wait till this weekend. Now, unfortunately, I work Saturdays, so I'm not going to be able to watch the games the way I want to because Ohio State and Penn State starts at 12. And
They didn't put that in prime time?
Nope, did not put that in prime time.
Wow, that's what I would have thought.
This should have been a prime time whiteout game for Penn State, but nope, 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
All right. And listen, one other note before we get out of here. My son's 13U football team has a championship game coming up at about 5:00. They're playing the Germantown Bears. They beat the Bears earlier in the season 6-0. Okay, and they won. 8-0. It was 8-0. They scored a touchdown, didn't get the extra point, and then they had a block punt in the end zone. All right, they got a safety. The game came down to Germantown's last drive, and I told his head coach, listen, my son saved your asses, okay? My son got a sack, forced a holding penalty on the tackle, and then got to the quarterback just in time because they had a receiver streaking down the sideline wide open. And if he doesn't get in there and make the quarterback rush his throw, if he gets just a little bit more touch on that pass, they could have lost that game.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I'm looking forward to that game. My kids play next Sunday at 10:00 in the morning. I don't know why we're playing that early. So we'll probably have to get the show in Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening.
That's what's up. We could do that.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Back to the Colorado football thing, man. Remember, I was very optimistic on them before we looked at the schedule. I thought they
Yeah.
could win like 6-7 games, and
We
then the schedule. We looked at the schedule and the like teams, and it was like, maybe not. Maybe I have to pull back on that. But they pulling it out, man.
Yeah,
They
we were wrong. We said 5. We said
Yeah.
5, and they're in. So, like I said, congratulations to them, and hopefully the program continues to grow.
Yeah, I should have stood on that, man. I should have stood tougher on
Yeah,
that.
should have, man.
But it was looking iffy.
Mm-hmm. All right,
So
that's it.
I think that's it,
All
man.
right, fellas.
All right, we out of here. Listen, we'll catch you guys next week. Enjoy the football. Although I just saw that the Bengals just got on the board against the Eagles, so I'm not too happy about that. I need to turn this TV on and enjoy as much of this game before I can get out of here. We'll see you guys next week. We're out.